it's Louise, the Big Haired Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day wherever you are and whatever you're doing. So I have just recorded my yarn chat, which I have been promising myself. Dear Louise, I promise that I will do a yarn chat. Love, Louise. Yes, I've been promising myself I would record it for ages. And so I recorded it last week, watched it back, and it was truly terrible. It was really, really bad. So I deleted it, and I have just subsequently recorded it. And I haven't watched my footage back. Cross fingers, everyone, that it's okay. It's not as bad as last time, which was just so messy. It was so messy. Anyway, so I'm all set up. So I have my lights, and I'm sat here, and I just thought, and the computer's here and everything. So I just thought, well, I should take the opportunity to do a wrap-up for the month. Now, I don't often do month wrap-ups because I talk to you all the time anyway. However, while I'm here, and it is January 31st, I thought, well, I'm going to do it. So I hope to put up the yarn chat tonight, and then in a couple of days, this will go up. It's so exciting. It's so exciting. So here we go. This is what I read. I only read 5 books in January because it was just so much going on. So much going on. I've got 2 audiobooks that I'm currently listening to at the moment, and I'm reading 2 books at the moment, which I haven't got to show you actually. They're both not here, but that doesn't matter. I shall show you them next time when I've read them, what have you. So I've read 5, and I've got 2 audiobooks on the go, and I've got 2 other books on the go, which is unusual for me. I'm normally a very faithful reader, but it's just the way it's working at the moment, and we're going with that, if that's all right with you. You're okay with that. I've also got a couple of books that have come in the last day, which I just thought I'd show you because I don't want to do a book haul or keep them for a book haul because I'm going to read them in the next fortnight. Oh yes, definitely. So, without further ado, the books that I read this month were, starting with the month, I started the year off with If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. And I have already been recommending this to people because I thoroughly enjoyed it. It is college kids in an art school who are Shakespeare obsessed. Their entire lives revolve around Shakespeare plays and performing them. If you're a Shakespeare buff or you like a good crime, I think it's a really smart, clever, enjoyable crime thriller. Literary crime thriller, but that shouldn't put you off if you're not a literary reader and you like crime books, but you're like, oh, I don't class myself as a literary reader. It just is so enjoyable. I thoroughly enjoyed it. However, I'm very comfortable with Shakespeare's works, and so I can understand how that might put some people off because there's so many quotations, but then for other people, it will get them. The suspense was really great. I did get the twist. I picked that up quite early along, but then I read a lot of these kind of books, and so I do tend to pick up the twist, but I still adored it. And look at this edition. It's one of those buttery covers, and this has been on the beach with me on a sand lounger as I drank a cocktail. I think I may have mentioned that before, but there we go. If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. Read it. It's great. I loved it. The second one I actually read on the plane coming home, and I read a whole of it on the plane coming home, and it is Admirals In the Still of the Night. I picked this up before I went because they were having a sale of Anne Rule's true crime books on the Kindle, on my e-reader, and it is the strange death of Rhonda Reynolds and her mother's unceasing quest for the truth. If you like a good suspenseful true crime, it's not gory. It's not kind of filled with details that's unsavoury. It is still about the death of a lady, and that is hard taking, and it's hard to kind of, you can see the little seeds that lead up to it. You think, no, there's kind of, but whether or not it's just because you know that you know that she dies. I don't know. I thought it was brilliant, and it absolutely galloped through it. If you're a true crime fan, if you're an Anne Rule fan, In the Still of the Night. I also listened to 2 on the audiobooks, 2 Anne Rules. I've got my notebook down here. And the first one was Practice to Deceive by Anne Rule. And I shall insert the picture here. So Practice to Deceive by Anne Rule. And a I've read this, but this was a first time listening to it on audiobook. It was Too Late to Say Goodbye by Anne Rule. I do like true crime as an audiobook, and I'm fairly confident with Anne Rule's that they're not going to be too sweary. Although they're adult themed, there isn't lots of sex and violence described. So, I mean, there is sex and violence described, but I can kind of pace it so that the boy's not around. My 9-year-old son's not around. Because I listen to audiobooks as I'm doing stuff, I have to make sure that they're pretty clean because my 9-year-old son may well hear it. But with these, I would tend to listen to podcasts when he was around that I knew were okay, or I'd be in a section that was about the trial or what have you, and I knew it was clean. I think it's because I'm confident with her as a writer that I was fine to have those bumbling about, so that was fine. So that was good. So I've listened to 2 of those this month, Practice to Deceive and Too Late to Say Goodbye, and then I've read another one. So it's a bit of an Anne Rule month. And then the other book is Nevermore, The Trials of Morrigan Crow by Jessica Townsend. It's a hardback. Step boldly, which I think we should all do anyway. And the naked hardback is just yumptious, delumptious, delicious. Look at that. It is just scrummy. And I was just taking the dust jacket off, and then if you like a nice end paper, so yeah, the whole thing's lovely. I did really enjoy it. It was very near a 5-star for me. When people talk about 5 stars, I could understand people giving this 5 stars. It wasn't. Sorry, I just put them on the floor. I mean, I didn't think it was the bestest ever, and I was thinking about why it isn't Harry Potter, and I think the reason that it isn't Harry Potter is because Harry takes so much of our current world, the Muggle world, and just takes it to one side. I think that's part of her genius, is that you can almost see that the unseen world is there, that you could also imagine that there are wizards, and if you just looked quickly enough, they would be there. And I think that's one of the geniuses of J.K. Rowling. This had sheer joyful magic, and there is threat, but it isn't. It is a middle grade book, so from 7, 8 upwards, and it is joyful. Utterly joyful magic, and I highly recommend it, and I will be reading this to Benedict very soon. When we finish our current books, then I'm going to suggest we go to this, because it's just so much fun, and I know his imagination will be caught by all the magic and the intricacies and the joyful magic that's part of it. So well done that. It is, let me show you, it's Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, The Trials of Morrigan Crow. So that's my hardback. And the 2 books that I have received in the last day. So the first one, they're both romances, but they're different, is Elegance by Kathleen Tesoro, I don't know. But it's lovely, and it's a very elegant book, and it's an irresistible love story, apparently, and I am unable to resist it. So I got it, and it looks like so it says Audrey Hepburn had it, Grace Kelly had it, Louise Canova does not, Elegance that is, nor does she have the answers to get her life and marriage back on track. Then one day she discovers a faded hardback in a second-hand bookshop. Elegance, an A to Z style written by French fashion expert Madame Antoine Dalaval, is a revelation. Right, so it's got second-hand books, and it's elegant, and it's an irresistible love story. So I like the sound of that. So I am going to be looking at reading a few romantic reads in the month of February, because it is the month of love, and I think we should talk about romance a little bit more. So that's that. I think it looks ultra smart and classily edgy. Did I get that right? Yeah. So there we go. I've got that. And then the second one. You see, I like these kind of romance books, and then I get absolutely just, I have, there isn't, just look. Candy's Camp, for a start, mesmerised. And it's the Mad Morelands series. And I opened it. It's a little mass market paperback. There you go. There's the noise to prove it. But then, and I squealed. I mean, that's just Mills and Boon, isn't it? That just looks to me. Oh, itchy nose, sorry. Mills and Boon. Look! He's either going to kiss her or throttle her. I'm not sure which. But she looks pleased by the whole business. Pleased, or like she's going to belch. I'm not sure. She could have a little bit of wind. Maybe he's helping her. Oh, I'll rub your back. Rub her back, pet. That'll help. Anyway, there we are. She looks saucy on the front, though, doesn't she? Over one shoulder. It's always a good way. So there we are. Mesmerised by Candice Camp. And it says, by Publishers Weekly, a smart, fun-filled romp. That was actually a quote for another book. Does that bode badly? It might do. So this is published by Harlequin, which is basically a part of Mills and Boon. So that is why it looks like Mills and Boon, because it is in fact from Harlequin. And it's a historical romance, and it's going to be great. So basically, I'm going to be reading this. I'm saying basically a lot because it's basically just, it's I'm so excited. Can you tell? Yes. So I've read some true crime, and now I'm moving to these romance books. And there we go. That's all I've got to talk to you about and show you today. I know. It's exciting. It's going to be short and sweet for me. That doesn't happen very often. And that's all. That's all I have. I have no parish notices. I have just some good books. And one last time, because you know you want to. Boo! There he is. Maybe she's got something stuck in her teeth. No, I think he's moving in for a smooch. So yeah, I should be reading this with utter joy in my heart, because this looks a very joyful read to me. Has to be done. Little mass market paperback. There we go. So I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good day, and you're thoroughly enjoying yourselves, as I will be. Yeah. All right then. Let's do this again, BookTube. It's been lovely.